What's up, everybody? It's me, Erica, and we are down here, girl. We are down here, girl. Girl. This is the old off with his head design. There's a newer design with a different font. It says off with his head, a queen. One of the divas was in the comments talking about how somebody wasn't acting like a queen, and I was like, "What's queen behavior? Or when you say somebody is a queen, or when you say they're not a queen? I think what they were talking about Kenya Moore. She is not a queen. There's some queens who are villains. You just open the history book. There's some queens who call for the heads of men and women. There's some queens that are ruthless. Yeah. So I don't know. I think when we talk about queen behavior, I think some of us have associated queens with this, darling, I would never, right? Like a perfect, I don't know. Queen Elizabeth was a motherfucker too. Shit. She just left us, what, about 2 years ago? Driving around in her Range Rover. So I made this shirt because I know that people, like, I hear people say somebody doesn't deserve to be called a queen, or they're not a queen, and I always think, like, what kind of behaviors do you associate with being a queen? Because you clearly haven't picked up a history book. So I made this shirt to remind the people, yeah, I could be a motherfucking queen and call for your goddamn head. Yeah. So that's what's going on. So that's why I made that shirt. So go get in the merch, in the merch shop. Let's see what's going on down to the blogs, honey. I'm like,
Is I sponsor the now. Yes. I sponsor the blog. Let me tell you something.
Kind of annoyed because I put my phone on the charger, and I put my phone on the charger and it didn't charge. So I don't know what was going on. I don't know what was going on. Okay, so let's see what's going on down to the black. Who fell on the red carpet? Or her heels are super high. Ooh, ooh, ooh. How embarrassing. Oh my gosh, how embarrassing. She fell right on the red carpet. I don't know who this person is. She's a Latina star. She recovered. She recovered. Let's go to the Jasmine brand. 51 new posts. Let's see what's going on. Okay. Dr. Wendy Osefo will teach the sociology of reality TV at Wesleyan University. Dr. Wendy Osefo, a Nigerian American academic and Real Housewives of Potomac star, has been named a distinguished visiting professor at Wesleyan University, where she will teach the groundbreaking course, The Sociology of Reality TV. I would like to see that curriculum. The course explores how reality TV reflects and shapes societal views on race, skin tone, ethnicity, blending her academic expertise and media experience. Osefo is a first generation Nigerian American, described the appointment as deeply rewarding and a significant step forward in her career. That's good. I think that's actually pretty good. Um Especially if you're like a student, if you're in media, television production, something like that. I think that would be like a good course to take. No shade, but you leave John Hopkins to go and teach about reality TV, something don't sound right. I thought she was tired of teaching. People say Ashley should go. Wendy should have been gone a long time ago. Man, they'll give people a class about anything these days. Y'all would have really been mad back in the day when they had a class on The Shining, and it was the for television production and film classes, but they were only analyzing the sound production. Like, they didn't talk about the dialogue. It was just the sound production. There were classes taught like that. I think it was at USC. Classes taught about how it's Stanley Kubrick's method was like, he really, just listening to The Shining without dialogue, it's still just as scary, right? There was a class on that. So it depends on what field or what the person's major is. Your major might be what, veterinarian sciences or animal sciences, and their major might be television production, television and film, media, whatever. And so they might want to take a course to understand the sociology of reality TV and how it affects race and all that other BS. I think it's a great class. Her mama said, "Get your ass back in that classroom. You better stay getting the bag, Dr. Wendy." Turn that into a 2-sentence resignation letter at John Hopkins to teach this. Okay, that's probably a bigger check. Reality TV is probably paying more than her career was. Wait a minute. One thing about Wendy Osefo, they tagged her. What, y'all are so weird when you tag people in the damn gossip posts. I really think that people who tag the celebrities, they just want attention. You just simply, you don't want to, you want attention. You want the celebrity or the public figure to see what you said about them. Like, I think it's so weird. Yes, I love a real friend and supportive friend. Shout out to you, the Jasmine brand, because Wendy is that girl, and I'm glad we can see many versions of this fabulous woman. John Hopkins obviously was not going to offer this course, so she found something else, and I respect the kudos to you. And y'all applaud this foolishness, all them degrees she brags about every chance she gets, and she's teaching a class about reality TV. And your username is Common Sense Reality. And who do you follow? Let's see. You have that's it's weird. And you're like it says Common Sense Reality. I go to this person's page. They have no posts, no followers, and they're following 8 people. They're following Kimpire, Hollywood Unlocked, HBO, Jasmine Brand. I love a mama's boy. I don't know what that is. And Official Black or Official BCK. So you're following all of the reality TV. Kimpire talks about reality TV as well. Hollywood Unlocked, you following a gossip page. Jasmine Brand following a gossip page, but you turning your nose up at a professor going to a school to teach something that they're like actually involved in. So not only is she a teacher, but she can also, like the article said, bring her experience. You guys are. Let me tell you something. I don't know. I don't know. You guys are weird. Some people are just weird. Dr. Heavenly put fire emojis. That sounds fun. Dr. Heavenly put more fire emojis. I don't know. Where can I take this class? You didn't read. You obviously didn't even read the headline. You can't even read. How did you type, where can I take this class? Because it's clear you didn't read. You didn't read it. So shout out to Wendy Osefo for teaching a class at Wesleyan University. Wesleyan University. Good for her. Okay, let's see. All right, that's my boss telling me she's not coming in today. Okay, Cher recalls Tina Turner asking for advice on leaving abusive relationship with Ike Turner. This is interesting. Cher is opening up about being a trusted confidant to Tina Turner during one of the most difficult periods of her life. In a new memoir, Cher, the memoir, part one, girl, come on, part one, the iconic singer revealed that Tina sought her advice on escaping her abusive husband, Ike Turner, before their divorce in 1978. Cher recalled a day of filming. See, the people are talking. When you on your way out of here, they just start talking. How old is Cher? Cher's in her 70s too. I think Cher might be 80 something over there with that young whippersnapper who looked like he smelled like a onion patch. Cher recalled a day of filming the Sonny and Cher show. When Tina appeared as a guest during the shoot, Tina asked Cher how to help her cover a bruise on her arm with makeup. Later, Tina asked, "How did you leave Sonny?" Cher replies, "I just walked out and kept on going." Cher reflected on witnessing Ike's demeanor during the rehearsal, sharing he didn't smile one time and played his guitar without any emotion. Tina Turner eventually left Ike in 1976 after enduring years of abuse. She escaped with just 36 cents and a gas station credit card, fleeing their Dallas hotel room following a violent altercation. Wow. The girls will, yeah, they know. This is crazy that I'm seeing this because I literally just watched What Love's Got to Do with It and the other day on Tubi. And some of those scenes still make me sick when I see it. But I believe this wholeheartedly because Sunny did abuse Cher. So it makes sense that Anime would ask her for advice. Just glad these women were able to get away from their husbands. Absolutely. And shout out to all the women out there who are getting away, all the people who are getting away, are getting out of abusive relationships. Shout out to you. If you just got out of an abusive relationship, shout out to you. Do not go back. Don't go back. Don't go back. The violence and the pain, that's familiar, and sometimes we create comfort in that familiarity, but it's not. Don't go back. Don't go back, girl. Stay strong, girl. Boy, they stay strong. Everybody. So back in those days, you couldn't trust anyone, but people were being abused and staying silent. The industry hasn't changed, and guess who else hasn't changed? Men. They haven't changed either. You know why? Because y'all still available for them. They don't have a reason to change. As women, as long as women are available to men, men will never change. Their sociology, the way that they're socialized will never change. It won't. As long as there's supply to meet the demand, they'll never change. Ever. Never, 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 never. They won't. They won't. As a collective, their collective consciousness, never. Listen to this man. I Somebody mentioned this man and said that they were listening to this professor and he reminded them of me. And I was like, well, who is it? And I went on Google, not Google, YouTube, and I found the video. And there was one part in the video where he talks about the alpha male and even the phrase and where it came from, and where it came from and where it originated. And when men are calling themselves alpha male, they're really calling themselves wolves in captivity. I know you've heard me say that before, right? This was a lecture over a year ago. So let's listen. I just want you to hear, and it's not a long clip, but I want you to hear. Um, and also he said that it's oppressive for women to take men's last names. He actually said it's more oppressive than wearing a burqa. I said, ooh, because you strip yourself of an identity. Listen to this. Listen to what he says. Listen to what he says. And I know how y'all like to listen to men more than you like to listen to women. So let's here. Right, we're clearly patrilineal in the sense that we make the mother lose her identity. Hold on. It's sped up, so just FYI, because I watch stuff sped up. Okay, so listen. Opposite of that, right? We're clearly patrilineal in the sense that we make the mother lose her identity. Not only do we give the children the identity of the man, as if somehow she had become part of that family. She's not. Once she's divorced, right? Nobody in the family will ever talk to her again. There's no relationship whatsoever. It's not like she's actually part of the family. But there's an expectation that she will somehow have loyalty to this new family. It's bizarre to me. So how did this happen? And how many times have a woman been married to a man, took his last name, and don't know shit about his family? You don't even know what family name you're taking on, and y'all be so happy. Ooh, so happy, Mrs. What, girl? And then when it's all said and done, you act like you don't want to change your name because my kids change their names too. Shit. Here's something else I want you to listen to from. Okay, we're running out of time. So one of the lies we've been taught is that women are emotional and men are rational. It's a bold lie. It's just there's nothing true about it at all. But it's built into our psychology. We even make fiction characters like this. That men are rational and women are emotional. It turns out that our brains have two parts. There's an emotion center and a rational center. Our conscious mind is rational. So the mind that you have, okay, so when you stop talking, do you notice a voice starts to kick in and your mind starts? That's actually your conscious mind. Your conscious mind, it has diarrhea of the mouth, can't stop talking, it has language, it's actually a little dumb, it's a little slow, but it is rational and it wants to take things in steps. Your emotion center is a supercomputer. It's the subconscious mind. It can calculate huge amounts of information instantaneously and give it to you. The problem is it doesn't possess language. So the subconscious, when it talks to you, doesn't actually talk to you with words. It gives you an emotion. In other words, if you cut off your emotion center, you're cutting off the smart part of your brain. But we need that's why we say they're stupider. They go to Jupiter to get more stupider. let me.
Rational part of our brain, because the rational part of our brain, first of all, is the conscious part of our brain. So it's the part of our brain that we feel like we are. So it's us. It's not that the subconscious isn't part of us. It's totally part of us as well. It's just the conscious one is the part that's actively trying to figure things out. It's the part that goes, geez, I need to lose some weight. Or it's the part that goes, I'd really love to read some philosophy. Or it's the part that says, wouldn't it be great to have shrimp today? That's that part. That's a lovely part. There's nothing wrong with it, but it's a little dumb. You want the emotion center. But because of the way we've set up our society, the sexism that we've built into our society, we've made it so that the emotional part is women, and we beat the emotions out of boys. I literally had to go to therapy to learn how to cry. Because by the time I was an adult male, I had basically, now I cry like that. I actually almost lost it in class the other day. So embarrassed. I just stared at the board for a while until I got my composure back. I don't know if you caught me doing that. It's like, oh crap, I'm gonna lose it. Chick flick, I'm gone. I'm like I'm weeping. Here's my point. Every single person potentially brings something wonderful and beautiful to our community in the way and the shape that their personality wants to bring them into the community. They might be introverted, they might be extroverted. They might be, really quick to emotion, they might be really slow to it. They might be compassionate and they want to bring people together and they want to compliment people, or they might be kind of angry all the time, whatever it is. If you have a society that lets people be whatever they were supposed to be without trying to crush them and lets them become the thing that they were meant to be, people are not only going to be happier, but people are going to not only be better adjusted, they're going to achieve more in their lives. Trying to take everybody and squish them into some kind of imaginary role means you're crushing out the personality. It means you're crushing out our apple nature. And that's the danger with patriarchy. Societies that rely heavily on patriarchy, that crush women, that make women into whatever you expect them to be, you're wiping out whole segments of your talent pool. You're making misery and suffering. The fact that there's actually some dumbass out there saying I'm a misogynist is profound. I want him to walk up to his mom and say, I'm a misogynist, I hate women, because that's what that means. And then watch the reaction his mom gives him. She slaps him across the face. What does that mean? How do you hate a portion of the species? Alpha males.
But also want to partner with them because you need them to duplicate you.
This is the conversation I keep hearing pop up. So for the record, this is really funny to me. They should have done more research on wolves before they adopted the term. The researcher who came up with the idea of alpha males in the 70s was researching wolves in captivity. Well, wolves in captivity were coming from 15 different places. They weren't from the same pack. So they had different cultures. They were from different packs. They probably didn't even speak the same wolf language. They're now in this human environment where they have to figure out how to operate together. What did they do? They adopted human culture. And they set up two alphas, an alpha male and an alpha female, the betas that were the subservient, follow the rules dogs, because they're dogs, and then the gammas, the ones they exiled. When we've studied wolves in the wild, they have all that. They do have alpha, beta, gamma, but not in that way. The alphas, the alpha male and the alpha female, are the mom and dad of the pack. Wolf packs are families. It's not really an alpha male and an alpha female. It's just mom and dad. The 12 wolves that are in this pack are just the kids. In other words, the wolf pack isn't this hierarchical thing where you're crushing the other animals and making them subservient to you. It's your family and you love them. Wolves are capable of an enormous range of emotions, including love. By the way, we know exactly where we know there was a thing, dogs aren't capable of love. It's not true. We now know when they see their owner. I don't own my dog. She owns me, if anything. When dogs see their human partner, that's more accurate. The part of their brain that lights up is the exact same part of our brain when we experience love. So there's zero doubt dogs are completely capable of love. Wolves are completely capable of love. They love each other. When a gamma does happen in the wild, it's because one of the wolves pissed off the pack and the pack is punishing them by exiling them. And by the way, wolves have forgiveness and they will let gammas back in, just for clarity's sake. When these toxic men are walking around calling themselves alpha males, they mean the wolves in captivity, not the wolves in the wild. So for the record, I'm totally an alpha male, but wolf in the wild alpha male. My goal in my life is to make my wife shine. My goal in life is to support her and let her become the person that she was meant to be. And she's doing the same thing for me because she happens to also be an alpha. Everybody's capable of being an alpha because in the wolf packs, eventually the parents die off and those wolves will go off and create their own packs and become their own alphas. There's no, I'm an alpha, you're a beta. That's only humans are cruel and sadistic and do that to each other. Wolves would never dream of something so nasty. Who would do that? Why would you do that? Why would you want somebody to be subordinate to you for all eternity? We should be trying to lift each other up. And 51% of the species of women to be a masculine man who's confident and not envious or jealous, because that's where a lot of this is coming from. The way you show that is by making your community stronger. The way you make your community stronger is by making the individual stronger. When I die, I know there will be a lasting legacy because I will have made somebody else's life better. And that's the ripple effect that gives me immortality. If I crush somebody, that's a really crappy immortality. Immortality comes from my ability to make my community better by lifting people up.
That's your legacy.
So what I want.
And you don't need children to do that. It's the mark that you left. Now, if you left a bunch of children who don't even fucking know you, that's no legacy. They don't even know you. And all they mama should change their last names because you don't deserve it. Because you're around here acting like you need to make a bunch of children. You don't even deserve it. That's what somebody said the other day. What's an unpopular opinion about parenthood? And I said that the majority of parents don't deserve offspring. The majority of parents do not deserve children. The same way like the majority of men don't deserve women, same thing. Same thing.
Do is all be alpha males and alpha females and take care of each other and stop letting this toxic thing that people are like, whatever, penis is this big is what that's about. Stop being a small penis man. Just be a real human being and start caring about people. Compassion, stewardship. Stewardship means care. It means you care about people. It comes from the word guard, the same root word that guard or guardian comes from. The idea is that you're not dominating the other person, you're uplifting the other person. And I'm done. We're out of time. And I probably spent too much time on.
You're just a wolf in captivity. I can find a tweet saying that because I say it all the time. And I was like, when I found out, because I heard the term, I hate the term alpha male. Let me search Twitter and show you the term alpha male. I do not like the term alpha male, but I realized, and I was like, first of all, the concept was debunked, right? The man debunked his own research, number one. And I've said it here. I typed in alpha male. I said alpha male's foundations be weak as fuck. Say one thing, they stumble and start bitching. This was in 2020. I have a video called The Alpha Male Myth, Why They Don't Exist. A black male is a conquered male who covets the seed of white alpha roosters. I don't know whose video is this. Ooh. Any man who calls himself an alpha male has likened himself to a wolf in captivity. Just nod in agreement and move on. Wolves in captivity are dangerous. That was 124, 1922, 2022. No animal raises their paw and screams, I'm an alpha male. It's not a self-appointed or self-proclaimed position and does not exist among humans. This here, let's see what else. Hold on. Let me see. I'm looking at my own tweets. I'm an alpha male. Unless your peer group has labeled you alpha, you ain't no alpha. There's no such thing as a self-proclaimed alpha anything. You ain't an alpha. You make some false sense of self and fake it until you make it confidence. You're not an alpha male or female. Y'all don't know how much of a deterrent it is to make alpha male mountaintop self proclamations. Any nigga who runs around telling anyone he's an alpha male is usually an abusive asshole. This was in 2017. In 2016, I said I was with a hyper masculine faux alpha male and he was the worst. I prefer someone who is okay with duality. Ignoring your intuition, ignoring your subconscious, ignoring your left side. That's the feminine side. We already talked about in the Great Cosmic Mother. Any person that's running around and is neglecting their emotions, their left side, their woman side, their subconscious side, they don't listen to intuition. They want you to ignore your intuition. They want to dead that side. That's the woman side, the left side. They even say that left means sinister. They've likened it to something evil, but it's really the woman side, the female side, I should say, the female side. Right? And so many people are running around in groups of people believing that, once again, just because a person has a penis, they're automatically masculine and they should possess no feminine traits because femininity means that you're gay, right? And God forbid, white, male, heterosexual, that's something we have to uphold. We have to uphold it. You understand? So I'm saying it down here to YouTube. The professors are saying it in the damn classrooms. So when you hear a man call himself an alpha male, fucking run. because he's literally just an asshole. Just an asshole. Also, another, and I have to mention this, a part of masculinity and a part of being masculine, not being male, but being masculine, is, like he said, upliftment, stewardship, guardianship, bringing order, right? Doesn't mean that a man does that. It means that that's a masculine trait. So many people are running around here. And I hope that you all, as you learn, that you are correcting people when they are attributing just masculinity to men and femininity to women, as if we are not both and should possess both. And that's how we are whole people, when we are in touch with our emotions, in touch with our logical side. Logic, masculine logic, doesn't mean men are more logical. They just, like he said, they just put it in everything. Men are more logical. And we can see, because of the absence and the ignoring of their intuition and ignoring of their emotions, how violent they are, how they become violent so quickly. They do not have a grasp on their emotions. We teach them mostly, but women learn it too, especially, we're living in a patriarchal society. Women learn it too. Don't cry, don't do this, don't do that. That's weak. Women even call men women in order to insult them. There are women in the world who don't believe that women can lead, when we started all this shit. And it's like, your history only goes back, it literally only goes back 1,000 years, the way that y'all really operate. And I really want women to learn that every structure that you see, everything that you see, was created by women, warriors, everything. And he went on. I'm going to share this video because he went on to talk about different things, and the men in the comments are not happy. I guess they expected to see this professor talk about masculinity and, affirm the biases that they have in their head, affirm their delusion of their ideal, because men really walk around believing they're in a hierarchy. And even your white male hetero Christian religion teaches them that you came from them. And so you're already basing your existence on a fucking lie, fairy tale, Aesop's fables. You didn't come from a man, and you didn't come from a man. So you even sitting in any place of worship, accepting that and internalizing that, and then you run around looking for men to lead you. And the truth of the matter is, you're the leader. And I was watching a content creator the other day. I haven't watched her in a long time, but she said something that I completely agree with. The responsibility y'all want men to uphold by protecting, providing, blah, 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 that's actually the job for the woman. You resting in your femininity. There's no such thing as resting in your femininity. Just like I heard Candace Dillard talk about the other day. Somebody asked her, what's the one thing you learned about being a mother? Or what's the best thing about being a mother? Or what's something they said? And she said, it's war. You run around with these little pink shit, and and you want to, I'm feminine, I want to rest in my feminine. Think of the act of giving birth. It's life and death. It's war. There's nothing feminine about giving birth. Nothing, from your little pink bows and raindrops and lemon drops, right? That's what your idea of it is. I want to rest in my feminine. We so tired of being masculine. That's your job. You're the gatekeepers of the culture. That's your goddamn job. The way that it's matrilineal, it's a matriarchy within the Black community, not with male identified heads. No, the women are male identified. I don't want to, but the women are running the show. The women are holding the shit on their back. Because women, I used to have a shirt that says, we are the gatekeepers of the culture. That's what we are. Go into any home, whatever the woman's like culture is usually what's happening in the home. Why? Because she maintains the home. Y'all want to depend on people that you know are not smarter than you. You want to slap somebody else's name on your work. You go through a life or death situation, and when the baby comes out, you slap a man's name on it. He didn't do a goddamn thing but put his penis in you. And for some of you, y'all just put the baby inside from, doing IVF and stuff like that. And when you nearly die, she said she has a blood clot in her ovaries, in her ovary, on her ovary, near her ovary, and she has to be on blood thinners. And this baby's last name is Bassett. But what you do? What you do? At least the baby's name ain't Chris. He might have another Chris already. But that's insane. And you're only doing that because that is what tradition is telling you. Your patriarchal tradition tells you to slap. These people are incredibly disrespectful to the people who give birth. Incredibly disrespectful. And all of those women lay down, have a baby, and then give the baby the man's last name. And some, because the man don't really have nothing to do, some of y'all will let him name the baby. Look at Nick Cannon's babies, all them fucking weird ass names they got going over there. They didn't name those babies. He did. You let him put his signature on your work. And that's out of alignment. That's dead. And when the man said that the women who wear burqas are more free than the women who completely change their identities by changing their last names, because in Islam, the woman doesn't have to change her last name. Also, she doesn't have to give any money to the man. Whatever is her money is her money. But I'm sure there are households where even if they are practicing Islam, if they're Orthodox, it's different, or fundamentalist, it's different. But typically the 2.0, the Muslim to 2.0 Muslims, they're sharing the responsibility in the home, but she doesn't have to, nor does she have to change her name. This thing where taking a man's name, that's not right. It's not right. It's not right. And then, like he said, you expected to be loyal to this family. A lot of people don't even know the nigga's family. Take on a man's name and don't know shit about his family. Don't know nothing about his family. And thankfully for them, you don't have tribes, because especially in this country, the women are moving on their own. You don't even know these people's family. Y'all marrying people you don't even know their families. And you taking a man's last name. And then y'all be happy to take. That's when I know the programming is complete, because you are ecstatic and excited. Remember when Trina was on that podcast and the Keisha Kior, what's your Mrs.? What's your Mrs.? Oh, Mrs. whatever she said. Mrs. Dreadlock. I don't know what she said. Her last name was. And then be so happy. And I don't know. I feel like the most progressive group are Black women, but at the same time, there's such a regressive mindset when it comes to partnering, and this thing where you want to mimic something that actually doesn't serve you, like changing your last name. That doesn't serve you. It doesn't serve you. And the fact that you take pride in taking someone else's name, like you're so happy to switch owners. Like Raquel on New York City Housewives. She found out her dad was an asshole. She was like, I don't want his last name. Her mother said, well, you don't want my last name because my motherfucking dad was an asshole. I'm just saying. So, I don't know. I just think the girls need to wake up. And I think in order for the girls to wake up, you have to remind the girls. When you hear a woman insult another man by calling him a woman, remind her, do you know you just dragged yourself? Is that what you think about yourself? You think so low about yourself that you would actually insult a man by calling him a woman, calling him a bitch, saying he's doing this like a woman? Why y'all gossiping like women? And it's so weird that millennials have this mindset. I say some Gen X will have it, some baby boomers, but I'd be really surprised that the collective consciousness hasn't changed with millennials raising children. Like, what are you teaching your children? Are you allowing this to continue, like this kind of misinformation to continue? You guys should be telling every girl around you, young woman around you, what it is. Don't take on no nigga's last name. Don't don't move when a nigga says, I want you to have my baby, or I want to marry you. Like, no. But there's a certain type of woman that desires this thing and doesn't even understand why they desire it, and be so happy to take on a man's last name. Doesn't even understand the history of marriage. You just want to do it because somebody been pushing it. Like Kyle on Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. I've never questioned my sexuality. I've never ever, like she wanted to say it, I've never questioned my heterosexuality. Right? She got to stay in the box. I got to stay in the confinements of the box. And like this man said, when you pushing people in the box, you running around telling people you're just a man in a dress. You are not this. You don't have a pussy. You don't. No. You ain't doing nothing but working for the fucking man. Agent Smith. Y'all got your little tweed suits on and your little black ties and your little black glasses. And then you don't even realize that the enforcements that you are, the rules that you are enforcing, they're going to be enforced on you. They're going to be enforced on you. You got to remember that. You around here enforcing gender identity and sexuality as a black woman. Please tighten up. Tighten the fuck up. You over here thinking that marriage is some great thing and you happy to take on a man's name. No, my dear. No, my dear. I know when we know better, we do better. So I'm not trying to say anything about anybody. My children's last names are hyphenated. I'm not saying anything to anybody because we don't know. You've been taught to move in this direction. I've always been heterosexual. Okay, you actually have been conditioned to be that. When they talk about a gay agenda, no ma'am, it's a heterosexual agenda. You having proms for children in kindergarten, that's grooming. That is grooming. Proms, grooming, all of it. Those are your first formal dance. You got to get dressed. You got to, these kids are like proposing in order to ask people to the prom or homecoming. That's grooming, all of it. And I think when you know better, you do better. I'm not trying to tell people not to feel bad because your children have that man's last name. You didn't know any better. If I let me tell you something, if I could do it over, he wouldn't be on the birth certificate. He would not be on the birth certificate, and they would not have his last name. Not at all. Not at all. Not at all. And I changed their names because they had his fake ass last name because he called himself a Muslim and his last name was Ali. And I was gonna do that, and I was like, And then I thought about it. I was like, no, I'm not. I'm changing their names. I did that, changed their birth certificates, changed everything, was down in the courtroom and everything. I'm not playing. So I'm not telling you something that I don't know how to do or what to do or didn't do it myself. So I did it myself. I changed their goddamn names. And the only reason why he had to say is because he was on the birth certificate. I could not change their names when he was on the birth. I wanted to change their names and just give them my last name. I was like, you want to give them my last name is going to be in there. So what name do you want? Do you want them to have your name that you have never changed? You almost 50 years old, damn near. I think he is 50 years old, and you still haven't changed your last name, and he has another child from a previous relationship who's running around with that last name, and you don't even have the last name. You haven't changed your last name. Girl, mess. So no. So I'm not trying to upset you or make you feel like you did something wrong because you've been conditioned that way. And I'm just in the tent of unlearning, say, hey girl, if you have a baby, do not give the baby the last name of the man. I don't give a damn if you're married. That's my fucking baby. That's my baby. Period. That's my baby. Life or death. Candace has a blood clot that she has to take blood thinners for. That baby is running around with the last name Bassett. Running around with the last name Bassett. Your identity completely erased from your child. Nothing about you connected to your child. Shout out to the kids who are growing up and saying like, listen, I want to change my last name because Who is my daddy? I don't even see that motherfucker. What last name is this? Shout out to the women who named their children after them. Shout out to y'all. Y'all knew what the fuck was going on. Shout out to the women who did that. Even if you are married, not married. Shout out to the women who get married and never go down to the goddamn courthouse to change their goddamn names. Shout out to y'all. You are going through all that work just to put a man's name on you at the end of yours. And you are the fucking work. You doing all the fucking work. And his last name is on the outside of the house. Fuck that. That's how I feel about it. That's how I feel about it. But you know, my views are a little bit different. You know what I'm saying? Because as I learn, I'm going to be saying it and telling the girls, if you got a young woman around you and she come to you talking, oh, he wants to marry. No, we want to see who is his family? Who is his people? We need to get back to that. Who are they people, honey? He don't have no people. Well, you don't know nothing about his people. He can't take you to a family event. Y'all talking about getting married. You haven't been to none of his family. You haven't seen his family. You don't know who these niggas are. I need to see everybody. I need a mental health background. Was your mama okay? Was your dad okay? What's going on? Are they criminals? What's up? I need to know. That's what we need to get back to. Y'all attribute it to the girls not having fathers, and so they're like sitting ducks. But no, these women running around like that lady who the content creator who married that man 20 years older than her, had 2 babies by him, and he was essaying both of the babies, 2 and 4 years old, married him after a week. You don't know nothing about this motherfucker. You literally married a pedophile. And then he used you to create the children that he wanted to abuse. And I bet and then she had a 3rd baby, a little boy. So now she's sitting over there with 5 kids, married to a pedophile. Because she wanted to be somebody's wife. She wanted somebody to own her. Fuck that. Fuck that. And thinking she's getting over on somebody, and he's 20 years older than her. A dirty old man. A dirty old man. The way I tell you, that man would have been, he would have vanished. That man would have vanished. I find out you doing something to my child, you would have vanished, my nigga. And they would have found your leg in New York, and your arm in New Jersey, and your motherfucking head in the goddamn Appalachian Mountains, bitch. Yes. Oh, I would have, girl, I don't understand how that woman is, maybe because she has a new little baby, but I would have ended that man's life off with his motherfucking head, bitch. Line the buckets up. But you want to be a wife. You want to be connected to a man. You want a man to own you. You want a man to do this and a man to provide and a man to do this. Do it your goddamn self. You don't grow the fuck up. You are the leader of this. It's your responsibility. It is not a man's responsibility to do nothing for you. Nothing for you. Y'all running around looking for somebody to depend on. If you don't start depending on yourselves, depend on yourselves and your sisters around you. Stop depending on these motherfuckers who don't have plans for you, and the role they want to play in your life is to abuse your children. Ooh, girl, when I tell you, every time I think about that, I tell you that you don't want me to be the queen of the motherfucking town. Every morning, 7:00. Let me see. Give me the docket. Let's see what's going on. All right. Get a bucket for his ass. He did what? Get a bucket. Okay. We're going to need about 15 buckets this morning. Line them up. Get their heads in that goddamn guillotine and let it rip, bitch. Off with his motherfucking head. I promise you. The way that, when I think about people abusing children, I honestly want to remove them from the earth. I feel like they should be put in jail forever, because there will always be children. You need to be isolated. If I found out, she said she was changing her daughter, and the daughter said it was daddy, I would slowly arsenic in his goddamn milk and cereal every morning. Here, baby. Yeah. Oh, I don't feel well. Oh, well, I don't know what's going on with you, girl. Yes, a slow death for you fucking pedophiles. Yes. You have your goddamn organs melting on the inside, slowly but surely. Oh, I don't know what's going on. Ooh, yeah. I got you, motherfucker. You put your goddamn hands on my kid. That's your baby. That's your baby. Even at the end of that video, she said, I don't know what I'm going to do about the names. What? The names? Fuck that man, bitch. He should be dead. Girl, You don't want to, girl. I'm telling you, when I be telling you I'm in touch with my shadow side, you mess with a child, I be ready. I couldn't be no judge. You come in there talking about you to mess with a child. I don't say no more. You don't have to say nothing. You for life. Gone. Out of here. Out of here. Never to be heard from again. Y'all be so happy to take these niggas' last name, putting yourself in these situations because you want to be taken care of. You a grown ass woman. Taken care of like a baby, depending on a man, when you know that you are smarter than him. You know you smarter than him. You ever see a girl, a young woman, a grown woman acting dumb for a man, pull her to the side, bitch, what the fuck is wrong with you? Why you acting dumb for a nigga? The nigga's dumb. Why are you acting dumb? No, we don't play those games. I don't give a damn what y'all say. Anyways, I gotta go. You gotta stop all that shit. Stop it all. Stop it all. Shit. Take care of each other. Protect your energy. Keep contact with the young women around you. You can't save everybody, but the ones that are in your proximity, you can. You hear them talking about the way that you even hear them talking in a way like, and it's weird because it's like you think with consciousness comes the next group of people having that same level of consciousness. No, they don't. So you got to make sure. What? He said he wants to have a baby. No, you don't want to have a baby and you don't want to be married. This is your goddamn journey. Oh, you taking on his interest? No, pull her to the side. Does he know anything about you? Ask him some questions about you and see can he answer them. All the shit that you know about him, ask him the same questions about you. You know his favorite color, you know his favorite TV show, you know his favorite food. Ask him, what is my favorite food? What's my favorite TV show? If he don't know, fuck that man and get him the fuck away around you. I promise you. Shit. Off with his goddamn head, bitch. All them motherfuckers. Period. Anyways, take care of each other. Protect your energy. Let's get down in the comments. Peace.